Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Kelly Williams, also known as Prodigal Son. Welcome to another edition of Canton Backstage. Today, we're going to take a little turn from the music, and we're going to go and talk to our very own Stark County prosecutor, Mr. John Ferrero. Matter of fact, I think he's here right now. He's coming into the building.
Good afternoon.
Mr. John Ferrero is welcome to Canton Backstage, man. So we got to do the fist bump. We're doing the fist bump. Man, thank you for coming on to the show, man.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. So a lot of people were asking. They were like, you know, I told a couple people you were coming on. They were like, how did you get the prosecutor to come on to Canton Backstage? And I was like, we just got a relationship, and I just asked him, and I didn't know what he was going to say. So he's here. Yeah. So as the prosecutor, it got to be a stressful job, right? It has to be. You know, I know you deal with a lot of people in your office. You got a lot of people under you. But what does John do for fun? What kind of music you listen to? What have you been doing during COVID? Like, what's going on?
Well, yeah, first of all, Kelly, again, thanks for having me. But my main concern in my life is my family, of course, and we try to do things with my daughters and my fiance and my grandkids, and just try to do things with them and center around that. But you know, to keep away the stress, you gotta be physically active. And
right.
Unfortunately, since COVID-19, it's sort of taken me away from the gym. I like to go like 3-4 times a week. But
you go to the gym 3-4. How much you bench pressing?
Oh, I can't talk about that. I can't talk about that. But now, you know, I'm mostly just walking outside and listening to podcasts and music and things like that, and just working around the house. It's nice weather, and I like to, you know, keep the lawn nice and plant flowers and things like that. But and reading, when you know, at night when you want to really settle down, I like to read a good book and or Kindle nowadays, whatever they have on there. So it's just something to keep your mind off what's going on from day to day.
That's good. I'm pretty sure people probably want to know that, because I think with my job, I think people think I'm in the studio all day, all night, wake up, studio, and I'm back here. Which is kind of true, but yeah. So you started a lot of new programs in the city. Well, we have Serve, which we were doing the Hip Hop Against Violence, you know, for several years, which is, you know, great turnouts. Helping different families in the communities. You also started Crime Stoppers recently. You know, can you talk a little bit about Crime Stoppers and what that's all about?
Yeah, well, first of all, in Serve, it's the Community Initiative to Reduce Violence. It was something that, you know, we started a while ago, and that it sort of got disbanded, and nobody really wanted to pursue it. But I talked with people in my office, and we got with Pastor Moss, who was willing to serve as a director to really get it going again. And so I went to the commissioners. We got funding, you know, for certain positions. We raised money to do certain events, which you're a big part of during the summer. So we kept it going, and we're going to keep it going. You know, it's a program where we try to get to gang members who have been charged or are on probation, and we try to get them to try to show them that, hey, look, you're an important part of society. You know, we want you to, you know, get away from what you're doing now. Let's start going down the right path. So we got, you know, you've been involved with it, Pastor Moss, and we try to get pastors. We get people who have lost a loved one because of gang violence that'll come speak to the gentlemen and sometimes women we have in there also. So just to tell them, look, we care about you. We're offering these services. It's up to you.
Right.
That's the only thing we can do as you know, prosecutor, as you as a leader in the community, to say, hey, look, we want to help you. It's there, and we'll continue to do that. Crime Stoppers. You know, we thought it was important because you see it up in Cleveland, Akron. Many times people don't want to get involved when there's a crime going on.
Right.
They don't want to be a witness or maybe rat on a neighbor or somebody. But Crime Stoppers is all anonymous. You call with a tip, the police department will investigate it, and if it comes out that someone is eventually convicted of a crime, then you can receive an award on that. So it's just something to help the police a little bit more, and also people who just, like I said, are hesitant. A lot of people don't trust police officers. Right. A lot of people are concerned about their safety. This is all anonymous. They can call up. Not saying that all tips are going to be reliable. They're going to be investigated because we as prosecutors, have to prove that case in court, and we're going to make sure that it is reliable, and then if it is, that person should be rewarded, and we won't even know who it is. Nobody knows, because you call in, you're given a number,
right,
and that's what you use to get your reward. So your name's never given, you don't have to worry about that. And we have a website to look it up and review it and things like that. And if you ever need any information, you can call my office, and we'll tell you how to use it.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Now, serve community initiative to reduce violence. Now, that's what McGruff, Scruffy, and you guys go into the schools with that too, right?
Yes.
So, what kind of, have you had any feedback? What happens in the schools? Any kind of success stories or?
A lot of good stories. I mean, the administrators in the schools have always commented that they appreciate the effort that we do that, and I think it's important.
Mm-hmm.
As we all well know, you got to get the kids on the right track at an early age.
Right.
Once they get into the teen years, and if they have had some trouble in the past, it's going to be more difficult.
Right.
But if you can talk to them when they're 5, 6, 7 years old, and tell them, hey, look, don't go to the life of crime. There's other things to do. And I think that's important for, you've been part of it. In my office, goes into the schools, and they feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Listening to people involved in law enforcement, and I think that's something we need to do. We got to get them at an early age. We got to teach them that be confident in law enforcement and stay away from going down the wrong track. Yeah.
Now we're in 2 schools now. We started off just at Belden, Pastor Moss and I. Now we're over at Crenshaw Early College. The cool thing about it is when at Belden it started off with maybe 4 young boys at the table with us having lunch, and it was just an idea from that point, and it just kind of just evolved, and obviously Lamar Sharp was a part of it as well in the very beginning. Now at Crenshaw, and even though these kids, if people would sit down and just have a conversation with them, they could learn so much about their life and understand probably why they're doing what they're doing. It's not saying that we agree with what they're doing, but I have come from some of those same households that some of these kids, are coming from. And, it can, imagine 15, 16, 17, and you feel like you have to take care of the house, So going into these schools and talking to these kids at an early age is an awesome thing. And, and I appreciate you, for having me a part of it too. What else? COVID. Now, did that affect, I know it affected government agencies, but how did it affect the prosecutor's office and working with the courts and things like that?
When the governor came out with the closings and businesses and everything, he did designate certain offices as essential, and workers as essential, and our office was considered essential, so we had to keep going, we had to keep open, so that we had to sit down and figure how to protect our workers from potential getting the virus. How can we do things? So we just strategized that. Let's try to get everybody to work from home as much as possible, because we have like 75, 80 employees.
Wow.
So we try to keep as many people home as possible, as little as possible to come into the office.
Right.
So we did that, and we were able to do that. We were able to, through grants, to get laptops for all the attorneys in the office, so that they were hooked up to the court system, where they can do their work at home, give their discovery to defense lawyers and things like that. So and write their briefs or whatever they needed to do from home. And we told everybody, get in your office, close your door, wear a mask, make sure you do the 6 feet. So knock on wood, it's worked so far. Nobody has gotten sick. We're still doing that. The courts, if you read, they suspended all jury trials, which is a big part of our office, and we're getting the feedback that it's going to start again in July, end of July, jury trials, which is you can imagine a big backlog at this point in time.
I can imagine, yeah.
But the one thing we had to keep going by law, by the Constitution, is the grand jury. The grand jury had to continue to go, and it is in my office that we operate. So we usually have 3 grand juries a week that meet. We cut it down to 1 grand jury. Our office houses the grand jury, and that grand jury room was too small, we felt, for the safety of the grand jurors. So we asked the common police court if we can go to one of the big courtrooms so that they can be spread out, which the court said sure, because no jury trials were going on. So we moved the grand jury over there. We were able to give them some safety. And I got to give, we can't name who they are or anything like that,
Right.
it's a secret, but I got to give a big thank you to them because they showed up. You know, they could have very easily said, hey, I don't want to because
Right.
of the fear, but they did show up because they felt safe being in a bigger courtroom, given masks and
Right.
things like that. So they did keep going, and now we have relocated to the Stark County office building here to a bigger room. We are now going 3 times a week again, so we'll continue that because even though the virus was out there and everything slowed down, crime didn't slow them down, unfortunately. So
Right.
once you arrest somebody, you're going to have presented to the grand jury in so much time period. So
Okay.
that's why we needed the grand jury to keep going.
Good. Now, speaking of the masks, I seen on Facebook all over the place. Your team was promoting, well, putting out there that you guys needed help with masks and people sewing and donations. And how many masks did you guys give out to first responders?
Oh, I probably around 500, 600 or so, Kelly. You know, we just thought it would be good for the police officers to have them because some of the smaller police agencies don't have enough money that they can order stuff, so we
Right.
decided to make it for them. So we're well over 600 that we've distributed to all the police agencies. We gave some to some paramedics and fire department and things like that. It was just something. Some of the people in the office was working from home, and they wanted to get away from the monotony of that. And they said, someone came up with this idea, is it all right if we start making them and doing this? I said, of course, that's a great idea.
Yeah, that was a great idea.
They were able to get away from their work a little bit at home and do this. And,
Right.
and,
So I'm pretty sure they was happy with
yeah.
that. I would have had my kids doing it.
Keep them busy.
And then acting like I was doing it and be like, hey, thanks. You know, get them ice cream or something as a reward. But I have probably one more question for you. It's on the personal side. All right? You ready for this?
Give it to me.
And I think they're ready for this too. Here we go. See how cool he is? He was like, we have not even discussed these questions here. He's like, fire. You mentioned you have a fiance.
Yes.
All right, I met her a couple times. What's your wedding date?
I didn't make it yet.
Ah! You didn't make the wedding date yet. It's going to be after COVID though. Hopefully.
Yeah. We've been quarantined together. And that's
Look
a
at his
good,
face.
that's a good test.
That is a good test.
Yeah.
Because you guys, you know, you've stayed in the test of times.
Yeah, it's all good.
That is a huge test. It was like, I know so many people who was like, oh, my husband, I didn't know he did this. Or my wife, I didn't know she did this or was like this. So, you know, but families are still together, so that's good, man. But, all right, man, so anything you want to say to the people before you pull out?
No, just, everything's going well here in Stark County, despite what's going on in the country, and we just want to keep it that way, and it's up to, I guess, the citizens of the county to make sure that we all work together. There's a lot of good things going on in law enforcement. We ask that you respect law enforcement, and we ask the law enforcement to respect the citizens. And if that happens, you know, everything should be good here in Stark County.
Awesome. Well, that is it, people. We thank you for tuning in. That was Mr. John Ferrero, Stark County Prosecutor. Make sure, man, you stay tuned on everything we doing here at Canton Backstage. We appreciate y'all for watching. See y'all next time.